Caroline Hopkins, don't panic, it's only a presentation. Your 5 minutes starts now.
Some of you will really hate what I'm about to do. It's speaking in public. You know the feeling when you have to go up to the front of the room because it was bad enough in school, wasn't it? I remember age 15 in Miss Bink's drama class, standing there feeling I was looking silly in front of my mates with my wobbling knees. And now the stakes have got even higher. That feeling of dread when you look out to see the audience just staring back at you, expressionless. And I say audience, it can feel more like a grand jury, really. And you don't want to be here. There's loads of them. And you're seriously thinking of pretending to faint just so you can get out of this. And then you start to talk and you notice that your voice has gone really funny. So you try to smile instead to cover it up, but your face isn't working either, probably because it's gone so red. Oh, and it looks like the jury's votes are in and they've decided you're rubbish. This is what happened to me every time I had to speak in public. I was a senior account director at one of the largest advertising agencies in the world, and I was terrified of giving presentations. And the more senior I got, the higher the expectation was that I would be really good at this, but I wasn't. I was terrible and terrified. And the cost to me was stress and panic. The cost to my company was business, because I wasn't good at pitching either. Now, my story has a happy ending, and today I am fine, and not just fine. I love presenting so much I do it for a living, and I help other people to get really good at it. But I do remember when I was back in my agency, people would respond to having a presentation coming up like they had some horrible illness in the diary for next week. And we'd all sympathize and say, oh, poor you, how long have you got? Which is crazy, because this is a skill like any other, and very few people are naturals. Imagine we tried to learn driving the same way. Just gave someone a car at Hyde Park Corner and said, go on, have a go, see how you get on, you'll be fine. Well, they wouldn't, would they? They'd get out, they'd say, that was terrifying, I'm not a natural, I'm not going to do that again. So why do we think we can just do presenting? And some people think the absence of fear is all it takes, but it doesn't make you engaging. And I was talking to a guy recently and he was telling me he has no problem whatsoever with giving presentations. And he said, never had a problem, I can just turn up on the day and wing it. Not a tremor of nerves, always been like that for me. And then I saw him present and he was right. He was very confident, but he was also really boring, but boring in a confident way. So what can we do about it? Well, I think there are three things. First of all, we need to get some driving lessons, the presentation equivalent, because the fear will diminish when you know how to drive the car properly. Secondly, think of the Boy Scouts. Always be prepared, because confidence comes from feeling excited that you have prepared something your audience will find interesting. Because at the end of the day, it's about them, not us. And thirdly, become a speakerholic. Develop an addiction to public speaking and try and find a fix whenever you can get one. Even small things like standing up to speak in meetings rather than sit down. You'll be amazed at how quickly things become comfortable the more often you do them. So remember, get the driving lessons, because this is a skill and anyone can learn it. Be prepared, because if you're not prepared, you could be terrible or you could be boring. And worst case, you could be terribly boring. And thirdly, become a speakerholic, because it's worth it. And when we start to love presenting, It's an affair that will last forever.